Hey there everyone, Rambling Collector here, and welcome back for another book review. So this one is going to be a little bit more fun, because this is going to be another manga review. More specifically, an indie manga review. If you all remember correctly from the book unboxing video that I did a little while ago, you will know that I've recently gotten my hands on the box set of Night of Slaughter and Devil's Deal. Written by Antonio Cooper, and done by various different artists. For instance, Devil's Deal, while written by Antonio Cooper, is drawn by Zeno. And as for Night of Slaughter, while written by Antonio Cooper, it is also drawn by Julia Faires Mori. So, honestly, I bought this whole entire manga set here from back when the TikTok shop was supposed to go down, back when we thought TikTok was getting banned. I'm not going to get into that. This, along with the Whist graphic novels, were the two box sets that I bought before I thought the TikTok shop was about to go down. But I finished both of these within a day. And let me tell you something. I want more. I absolutely want more from both of these series, and I really hope to God at some point we get more physical releases, because the promise that these two series have is incredible for the fact that they are both dark fantasy series, but each with different characters and different motives. But let me explain that in detail by first diving into Night of Slaughter. So let me read to you the synopsis here. Veronica gets her wish to become a holy knight of her divine father's holy order, but she soon discovers that her dreams come with a price. As she delves deeper into the world of divine battles, politics, and betrayals, Veronica must face the consequences of her choices and determine if her newfound power is a blessing or a curse. Now, what this tells me already is that we have a young girl graced by two holy knights, each of which having their own unique powers. For her, she has grown up as essentially the daughter surrounded by a whole bunch of fun uncles who are also brave warriors. But for her, she grows up with the aspiration to become a holy knight, not knowing exactly the consequences or the reality of what she will be facing. And literally within a few chapters of just this first volume, her dreams and fantasies of knighthood are all completely shattered to fragments. And it's really heartbreaking to watch as the bond that she forms with her father and mother, Lady Elissa and Lord Hammer, is changed forever by her choosing to become a knight. Because once she falls under their apprenticeship, they no longer see her as their daughter. They still love her as such as their daughter, but they cannot treat her as such, giving her the special treatment like a princess would receive. They have to train her to fight, to kill, to lie, to do what is necessary to fulfill her duty. And watching that harsh reality just crashing down around her, it's heartbreaking at times, because you see her childhood just essentially ripped away from her, but you also see her growing as a character and as a person. And that is why whenever Volume 2 comes out, I'm going to be picking this up. But also, can I just say, I love the fact that I have another signed manga to the collection. But also, I will say the artwork here is very well done. Take a look for yourself. Do you see how clean and well done that is? That is how you know you're in for a good story. But I would say one of the main questions that I will have for further into the show, or into the series I should say, is that throughout this volume I see these moments where Veronica is afflicted by, let's see here, she has this sort of shadow persona that follows her around, as shown here. It's like her own shadow is constantly contradicting her and talking to her, and I want to know whether that is a demon that is trying to coerce her, or if that is her own subconscious thoughts. I'm very curious to learn more about this one. So Night of Slaughter is definitely high on my list for future reads. Now, let's talk about Devil's Deal. This one I read late into the night, probably past midnight, and just kept going. One thing that is a major difference between Night of Slaughter and this one here with Devil's Deal is that the artwork here is a lot of a darker shade, as you can tell. So the artwork, while fantastic, is definitely more for a darker type of story, and that is exactly what we get here. Now I will warn you all, for those of you who buy these manga. So, fun thing is that Devil's Deal is read like an American comic book, from left to right, whereas Night of Slaughter, despite having the covers reversed like this for like American comic books, the manga is still read from right to left. So just a preemptive warning if you ever do pick up these volumes. But, going back here to Devil's Deal, I will read you the synopsis for this one here. Selma's routine life is destroyed after running into the infamous bandit Haveline. With her husband's job lost, the bills mounting, her family ending up destitute on the streets is quickly becoming a real possibility. What will she do to save her life and family? So, here we have Selma, the daughter of a street worker, having a good life with a man who runs the head of the guard, having 2 children, and simply just being content with being a housewife. But we find later on that after an encounter with bandits, leaving her husband completely injured and out of the running for head of the guard. Now her family is on the verge of poverty and being homeless on the streets, with the taxpayers coming to call, and it is a very grim situation. So Selma takes it upon herself to look into the Adventurers Guild. And this first volume covers her adventures with not only how her life is turned down into the gutters, but also her first adventure. And it takes a gradual turn, which I don't want to spoil too much for those who haven't read it yet, but I will say it was definitely an engaging read and left me very hungry for more. Now, I know there might be the digital version to look at, but I cannot wait for more of the physical copy. The artwork is fantastic, and I was really glad to actually get this whole little box set from the TikTok shop. And this just goes to show that TikTok is a great platform for indie authors and indie creators to get their stuff out there, because I have found quite a few different books from that app alone. This being a very prominent example. You just never know what you're going to find when it comes to indie manga, comics, or books in general. But if you're curious to see a dark fantasy piece and you want to get 2 first volumes in a nice little box set, I would definitely recommend picking these up. Devil's Deal and Night of Slaughter, definite 10s out of 10s from me on both ends. And I will not lie to you, I am definitely psyched for more whenever these do come out. But don't just take my word for it. Go check them out for yourself. Look for them on the TikTok shop, and believe me, you'll be in for a wild ride. Now, with that being said, I will see you all in the next video. This is Ramble Collector, signing off for now. And if you have any manga recommendations or any other indie comics you'd recommend for me to check out, please feel free to hit me up with them in the comments. I'm always free to any new suggestions for any new stories that you feel are worth being talked about. Thank you all for listening. This is Rambling Collector, signing off for now. Have a great day, fellow readers, and I'll see you all in the next video.